Hey everybody! In today's video, I'm going to show you two super fun hacks for getting realistic shadows, and they are both very easy. I am starting with this adorable deer stamp from Hero Arts, and first I'm going to stamp it on a piece of masking paper. Masking is essential to both of the ways that I'm going to show you how to create shadows. So do grab some masking paper before you get started. Once I have him stamped, or her, I guess, I don't know, I'm going to just cut her out really quickly. Now, I did have an accident later in the video, so that's a little foreshadowing for you. Something very terrible is about to happen. But when I am cutting up my masks, especially images that have curves like this one, it is much easier to do what you see me doing here, which is to turn the paper and not your scissors. I also find that these scissors in particular are more comfortable for me to hold for this length of time versus some of my smaller, sharper scissors that I use for other paper crafting things. These are very anti-fatigue. And even though they don't have a super fine point, you don't need it for when you're cutting out masks most of the time. So I have a white card front set up, and I'm positioning the deer where I want it in my scene, and I will just stamp it in black. I'm going to stamp it a couple of times to make sure I get a good image. 3 times to be exact. And I will be both coloring this and then masking it and doing some inking around it. So now I will put the mask down on the deer to do the rest of the scene, including the shadow. So I'm just eyeballing another piece of masking paper to cut a snowy hillside for the deer to stand on. And I'll just do that by hand. Once you do this, you can just stick this in the stamp set to use over and over again. The most important thing about the hill is that it goes up above the deer's hooves, because you don't want a mysterious floating alien deer just hovering above the snowy hill in your landscape. Floating deer is so 2020. So I will put this in the center of my MISTI. Now I'm going to link you to a video where I show you how to use the Hero Arts Infinity dies to create a template to use in your MISTI for using cling background stamps. But in case you don't have those Infinity dies, this is a very simple way to keep your card front still while using a large background stamp that is larger than your card front. So I will get this beautiful background bold print stamp set up, and I'm going to ink it up in some Hero Hues ink. This gives great coverage on clear or rubber stamps, and it's great for inking a large area like I'm going to be doing here. So I will take my first stab at creating the background, and of course there's a little void there where the masking paper is. And that's the wonder of the MISTI. I can just keep stamping it until I fill in that void with just some direct pressure over the area where the masking paper and the cardstock meet. Now this top right corner wasn't quite inked all the way, so I will keep stamping that. This is such a crisp image that I want to make sure that I get every part of it perfectly inked, because I just love this design. I showed this on one of my Facebook Lives and everybody loved this background stamp just for those little sweet little details of the deer and the trees in the background. So now I can remove this from my MISTI and we will do our first shadow hack. This one is actually my favorite. I do this one quite a bit. Oops, I just ripped off the deer's leg. That was the terrible thing that was going to happen. I dismembered my deer and it was awful. But I'm going to use the stamp imaging sheet to create a very realistic shadow or reflection, depending on what type of image you're doing. The stamp imaging sheet has the actual stamp image on it, and so that's why it creates such a great shadow. So I'm just flipping it upside down and taping it down on top of my card front. Then I will slip this graphite paper underneath it. This is my favorite transfer paper. because it doesn't smudge and it's very, very light, so it disappears into whatever you're doing. And then I just trace it. I have a nice hard fine point mechanical pencil that I'm just tracing the outline of the image with until I get a good image. And I'm going to show you close up because I want you to see how pale and perfect and non-smudgy this transfer paper is. So see that faint pencil line? That's just going to completely go away when I go to watercolor or whatever I'm doing on top of it. In this case, I'm using alcohol markers. But that gives you a completely realistic shadow from that deer because it is the deer. You're not having to hand draw anything. And like my dad used to say, there's no reason to go around, like he used to say, wearing a hair shirt, meaning like doing things the hard way and then complaining about it. When there's an easy way to do it, just do it the easy way. So this is the easy way. Use the actual stamp image itself from the index sheet, and you'll get a totally realistic, perfect shadow for this sweet little deer. So I'm using a B00 Copic marker to fill in the shadows. And then I'm also adding a little bit of shadow at the top of the hill just to separate it from the background. Otherwise, the edge would look sort of unnatural because the pattern just stops back there. I love this pencil. I'll link you to this pencil below. I have like 10 of these. I have them in my watercolor bags. I have them everywhere. So now we will do shadow hack number 2, which is even easier than this, but we will be masking again with my poor 3-legged deer, but I'll figure it out. So I had left the deer set up in my Mini MISTI so that I could just easily repeat this card, except with the second version of the shadow. So it's in exactly the same place, which means I can use the same hillside mask in the same place as well. So that makes it really easy. If you're sitting down to crank out a bunch of holiday cards, this would be a good way to do it. So now I kept the leg and I'm putting the mask down and then sticking the little leg on there. And the deer does not appear to be in any kind of discomfort for those of you who are worried. I think it's going to be okay. So in this case, I'm going to use the solid back of the clear stamp to create the shadow. This is kind of my old school way of doing this. When clear stamps first came out, this was a real wow technique, and I've been using it ever since. It's a very easy way to get kind of a more abstract shadow than the one that I showed you at first. So you just put the solid side facing where normally the detailed stamp side would be facing, and then put it on the lid of your MISTI and stamp the back side down. And I use the matching ink. I use that same Hero Hues ink to stamp the shadow. So it'll all be coordinated with the background stamp. So I'll put this back. Again, I left my stamp set up. It would be easy to make a bunch of these cards if you just have a Mini MISTI and have an original MISTI. This works out well. The new Mini MISTI is out with the new features. So I will put a link to that in the supply list below. And a Mini MISTI is good, I would say, for travel, but we're not doing that anymore. But it's good for things like that where you just are working on 2 different sets of images for a project and you want to keep them both set up for making multiples. So once I have the background inked, I will take off all the masks, my favorite part, unmask that little hill, unmask the deer, unmask the deer's leg. But actually I'm going to put it back because I'm going to do some ink blending this time to separate the hill. So I have the negative space of the backing paper for the hill that I cut and a life-changing blender brush, and I'm using the same Hero Hues ink just to create a little bit of shadow on top of that hill. And that separates it again, the background from the foreground. And now you can see what each of the 2 shadows look like for my little deer. So head over to my blog for more information, and thanks so much for watching.